Hello everyone, this is Paul from SpanishWithPaul.com and welcome to mini course number 3. As always, it's very important that you interact with the video, so whenever I ask a question, if you need more time, pause, think out your answer, and then continue. That way you'll get the maximum value from these lessons. If you'd like to download all the course books that I've prepared to go along with these video lessons, simply click the link that you see on the screen right now, and I've also put another one in the description. It's a great way to test yourself and revise to make sure that you've fully learned everything that we're covering in these lessons. So with that taken care of, let's get started now with mini course 3. In mini course 1, we learned that I can in Spanish is puedo. We have two syllables, pue and do. So together, puedo. Now, if we change this o at the end to an e, we get the sound of puede, puede. And that simple change means he can, she can, or it can. So all three are represented with puede. Do you remember the verb to be from course 1? Estar. And the word here? Aquí. How would you say, I can be here? Puedo estar aquí. Now, how would you say, he can be here? Puede estar aquí. What's the word for tomorrow? Mañana. How would you say, she can be here tomorrow? Puede estar aquí mañana. What's the word for later? Más tarde. How would you say, he can be here later? Puede estar aquí más tarde. What about I can be here later? Puedo estar aquí más tarde. To say I can't would be no puedo. So we have puedo, I can, and no puedo, I can't. How do you think you would say he, she, or it can't? No puede. So how would you say he can't be here? No puede estar aquí. What's the word for today? Hoy. How would you say he can't be here today? No puede estar aquí hoy. What about she can't be here tomorrow? No puede estar aquí mañana. Something else we learned in course 1 was that I want in Spanish is quiero. So we have qui and ero. Quiero. Now, if again we take this o and change it to an e, we get quiere. And quiere means he wants, she wants, or it wants. So again, all three are expressed with quiere. Let's put them side by side again. We have quiero, I want, and quiere, he, she, or it wants. Now, try to say, I want to be here. Quiero estar aquí. What about he wants to be here? quiere estar aquí. Do you remember how to say with me? Conmigo, written as one word. Conmigo. How would you say she wants to be here with me today? Quiere estar aquí conmigo hoy. What's the verb to do? Hacer. And to do it? Hacerlo. How would you say, I want to do it today? Quiero hacerlo hoy. Now try to say, he wants to do it tomorrow. Quiere hacerlo mañana. She wants to do it later. Quiere hacerlo más tarde. To say I don't want would be no quiero. So just as before, we have quiero, I want, and no quiero, I don't want. How would you say I don't want to be here today? No quiero estar aquí hoy. Now, how would you express he, she, or it doesn't want? No quiere. How would you say she doesn't want to do it tomorrow? No quiere hacerlo mañana. He doesn't want to be here with me. No quiere estar aquí conmigo. The verb to call in Spanish is llamar. This double L always gets pronounced as a Y in Spanish. So you can imagine whenever you see this, that it's like this with a Y. Llamar, that's the sound. Ya and then mar. But in the real spelling in Spanish, it has this double L. So llamar means to call. To say to call me, we would take llamar, the verb, and tag on me at the end. So it's all one word, giving us llamarme. Let's go through the syllables. We have ya, mar, me. Llamarme would be to call me. Do you remember how to say he can? Puede. Now, how would you say he can call me? Puede llamarme. What about he can call me later? Puede llamarme más tarde. How about she can call me tomorrow? Puede llamarme mañana. Do you remember how to say he can't? No puede. He can't call me today. No puede llamarme hoy. If we wanted to say because I'm busy, it would be porque estoy ocupado. Porque, as we know from previous courses, means because. And estoy means I am. Then we have this word ocupado, which means occupied. So because I am occupied is how they say I'm busy in Spanish. Notice that we have two alternate endings here. We have an ending in o and an ending in a. So if you're a male saying you're busy, you will say ocupado, ending in the o. However, if you are female saying you're busy, you will end it in an a, giving you the sound of ocupada. So because I am busy, once again would be porque estoy ocupado or ocupada. Let's try and put it together. How would you say, he can't call me today because I'm busy? No puede llamarme hoy porque estoy ocupado or ocupada. How do you say she wants? Quiere. Now say she wants to call me. Quiere llamarme. She wants to call me later. Quiere llamarme más tarde. What about she doesn't want to call me later? No quiere llamarme más tarde. The verb to know is something that we covered in the previous course. I wonder if you can remember how to say that in Spanish. Saber. How would you say, I want to know? Quiero saber. What's the word for if? Si. Simply si without any accent over the I. Si. Now try to say, I want to know if he can call me later. Quiero saber si puede llamarme más tarde. I want to know if she can be here later. Quiero saber si puede estar aquí más tarde. Because it's important. Porque es importante. Now let's try to put that together. How would you say, I want to know if he can call me tomorrow because it's important? Quiero saber si puede llamarme mañana porque es importante. Something else we covered in course 1 was how to say I need. And again, I wonder if you can remember that. Necesito. So we have ne, se, si, to. 4 syllables. Necesito means I need. Now, how would you say I need to know? Necesito saber. How would you say I need to know if he can do it for me today? Necesito saber si puede hacerlo para mí hoy. How do you say she wants? Quiere. And how do you express I'm busy? Estoy ocupado or ocupada. Now try to say she wants to know if I'm busy today. Quiere saber si estoy ocupado or ocupada hoy. In the first mini course, we learned that to express I have to in Spanish is tengo que. Now I'd like to move on to he has to, she has to, or it has to. And all of that is covered with tiene que. So we have tiene que. Now if we put our three amigos together, you can see that they match in sound. We have puede, quiere, and now tiene. So these three match very well together in a group. Puede, quiere, tiene. So once again, I have to would be tengo que, but he, she, or it has to would be tiene que. Do you remember the verb to go out? Salir. What's the word for tonight? Esta noche. How would you say, I have to go out tonight? Tengo que salir esta noche. Now try to say, he has to go out tonight. Tiene que salir esta noche. How would you say, she has to call me? Tiene que llamarme. She has to call me tomorrow. Tiene que llamarme mañana. To say it's urgent in Spanish would be es urgente. Es meaning it is or it's, and urgent becomes urgente in Spanish. So we have the sound of ur, and then like a H sound for here, this GE, this is gente. So urgente is urgent in Spanish. Let's try this one. It's urgent and she has to call me tonight. Es urgente y tiene que llamarme esta noche. How do you say to do it? Hacerlo. Now try to say, it's urgent and he has to do it for me today. Es urgente y tiene que hacerlo para mí hoy. Whenever you want to ask a question in Spanish, you simply use the intonation of your voice. For example, we have here, he can call me today, just as a statement. And that would be, puede llamarme hoy. But if we wanted to turn that into a question, in other words, can he call me today? In Spanish, that would be, puede llamarme hoy? You can see how I adjusted the intonation of my voice to imply that I was now asking a question. We can see this very clearly if we put them both on one slide. In the top, you can see in Spanish it's the same for a statement or a question. Puede llamarme hoy. The only thing that identifies it as a question is the intonation of your voice, but you can see very clearly that the sentences are exactly the same on this slide. So let's practice this a little bit. How would you say, she can do it today as a statement? Puede hacerlo hoy. Now let's ask it as a question. Can she do it today? Puede hacerlo hoy? How would you say, He wants to be here. Quiere estar aquí. Now let's ask that as a question. Does he want to be here? Quiere estar aquí? How would you say she wants to call me tonight? Quiere llamarme esta noche. Now let's ask that same thing. Does she want to call me tonight? ¿Quiere llamarme esta noche? So, as you can see, asking questions in Spanish is actually very easy because you don't have to change the word order at all like we do in English. You simply say the exact same sentence and use the intonation of your voice to make it clear and obvious that you're asking a question. In mini course 2, we looked at how to express I would like in Spanish, and I wonder if you can remember that now. Me gustaría. This literally means, to me, it would be pleasing. Me gustaría. So what we want to move on to now is he, she, or it would like. And once again, all three of those are covered with just one phrase in Spanish. And that would be le gustaría. Now what we are expressing is that this le stands for to him, to her, or to it. It would be pleasing. So we have me gustaría for I would like, and le gustaría for he, she, or it would like. As you can see, the change is very small, so it's nice and easy for us. We have either me gustaría or le gustaría. Let's practice this a little bit now. How would you say I would like to do it tomorrow? Me gustaría hacerlo mañana. Now try to say he would like to do it tomorrow. Le gustaría hacerlo mañana. How would you say she would like to do it today? Le gustaría hacerlo hoy. He would like to be here with me. Le gustaría estar aquí conmigo. She would like to go out tonight. Le gustaría salir esta noche. He would like to call me later. Le gustaría llamarme más tarde. She would like to know if I can be here tomorrow. Le gustaría saber si puedo estar aquí mañana. Finally, he would like to know if she can be here today. Go slowly, just think it out step by step. Le gustaría saber si puede estar aquí hoy. Let's break this one down. We have he would like, so we have le gustaría, and to know, saber. If she can, si puede, be here, estar aquí, today, hoy. If to say I would like is me gustaría, I wonder if you can figure out how to say I wouldn't like. No me gustaría. So once again, we're simply throwing no up front to make it into a negative statement. No me gustaría. So how now do you think we would say he, she, or it wouldn't like? No le gustaría. We had a very useful little word in the first course which meant this way, that way, like this, or like that. I wonder if you can remember what that was. Así, with an accent over the I. Así. How would you say he wouldn't like it that way? No le gustaría así. She wouldn't like to do it that way. No le gustaría hacerlo así. Do you remember the verb to see from mini course 2? Ver. How would you say to see me? Verme. Once again, the me stands for me, and we simply hook it on to the end of the verb. So, ver is to see, and to see me, verme. Now, how would we say, I would like to know if he can see me today? Me gustaría saber si puede verme hoy. Because it's very important. Porque es muy importante. Let's put all that together. I would like to know if he can see me today because it's very important. Me gustaría saber si puede verme hoy porque es muy importante. How would you say, she would like to know if I can do it later? Le gustaría saber si puedo hacerlo más tarde. Do you remember how to say, it's urgent? Es urgente. Now try to say, it's urgent, and she would like to know if I can do it today. Es urgente y le gustaría saber si puedo hacerlo hoy. Do you remember how to say myself from mini course 2? It's either yo mismo if you are a male, or yo misma if you are female. How would you say, I can do it myself? Puedo hacerlo yo mismo or yo misma. What about I want to do it myself? Quiero hacerlo yo mismo or yo misma. If we want to say himself, it would be él mismo. So you can see that we still retain the mismo part, but instead of yo mismo, standing for I, it's él mismo, standing for him. So el mismo is himself. How would you say he can do it himself? Puede hacerlo él mismo. What about he wants to do it himself? Quiere hacerlo él mismo. He can't do it himself. No puede hacerlo él mismo. Now, moving on, we can also say herself, and that would be ella misma. So, because we're talking about a female now, we go to misma instead of mismo, and this ella represents her. So, herself is ella misma. Notice we have the double L with the Y sound again, ella misma. How would you say, she can call me herself? Puede llamarme ella misma. She wants to call me herself. Quiere llamarme ella misma. She doesn't want to call me herself. No quiere llamarme ella misma. How would you ask, does she want to call me herself? ¿Quiere llamarme ella misma? How do you say I need? Necesito. Now try to say, I need to be here because she cannot do it herself. Necesito estar aquí porque no puede hacerlo ella misma. Here it is now all on one slide. For myself, we have yo mismo or yo misma. Himself would be él mismo, and herself would be ella misma. Notice that we always have this mismo or misma involved, and it simply switches from yo to él or ella. Earlier, we saw that puede can mean he can, she can, or it can. So what I'd like to do is some examples with it can. How would you say it can be here? Puede estar aquí. It can't be here. No puede estar aquí. Today it can be here. Hoy puede estar aquí. Do you remember the word for now? Ahora. How would you say now it can go out? Ahora puede salir. Let's finish off now with a final review for mini course 3. And I'd like to do this working with a new verb, which is to wait. To wait in Spanish is esperar. So we have esperar. Esperar means to wait. How would you say, I have to wait? Tengo que esperar. He has to wait here. Tiene que esperar aquí. To express to wait for me, we take esperar and we tag on me to the end of it. So the sound that you get is esperarme. You can still see the full verb here, esperar, with me tagged on. So esperarme equals to wait for me. Literally, I suppose, to await me. Esperarme. How would you say, He has to wait for me. Tiene que esperarme. She has to wait for me here. Tiene que esperarme aquí. Because today I'm very busy. Porque hoy estoy muy ocupado. Or if you're female, you will say ocupada. Let's put it together. She has to wait for me here because today I'm very busy. Tiene que esperarme aquí porque hoy estoy muy ocupado or ocupada. How would you say I can't wait? No puedo esperar. I can't wait because it's urgent. No puedo esperar porque es urgente. To say more or any more is very simple in Spanish. It's simply más with an accent over the A. Más. How would you say I can't wait anymore? No puedo esperar más. What about I don't want to wait anymore? No quiero esperar más. He doesn't want to wait here. No quiere esperar aquí. She doesn't want to wait for me here. No quiere esperarme aquí. How would you say I would like to wait? Me gustaría esperar. What about he would like to wait here? Le gustaría esperar aquí. Now we already know that I would like is me gustaría. But also in mini course 2, we had simply I like, and I wonder if you can remember how to say that. Me gusta. How would you say I don't like? No me gusta. Now, how would you say I don't like to wait? No me gusta esperar. All right, so a very big congratulations for making it through mini course 3. By now, hopefully you're starting to feel that you have a very solid foundation to hold on to with your Spanish. And this is going to grow more and more as we continue with the lessons. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you'll always be notified every time I upload something new. And I look forward to seeing you all again in my next video.